Joshua Noel, you mind telling me what you're doing on this episode?
Sir, finishing this episode.
Today we're talking about which characters from Xbox gaming franchises are the most inspiring. We're doing our Icon series. This is part of the New Year series, looking at who we want to be in 2025 through the lens of the most iconic gaming characters we can think of. I am your host today. I'm TJ Blackwell. I'm here with Joshua Noel, who I did make. Yeah, I made him participate in the Halo propaganda. Yeah. He hates Halo. It's one of his many bad opinions you might have heard before.
I think it might be my top bad opinion. Like, of all the bad opinions that we have listed, it might be the one that I hold to the strongest, actually.
Yeah, and your worst one.
Yeah, it's like the worst one, but also the one I'm most willing to stick to my guns on for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're going through finding out who the most iconic characters are for us, for each major gaming company. We're trying to emulate or immolate something. So, it's a little something special. But Joshua, what is one person you look up to as an icon for our Icon series?
Oh, man. This is always a hard thing to open with. Today I'm going to go with David French. He is a writer for the New York Times. He's conservative political pundit, I guess you could say. He ran for president once, technically. Podcaster. I'm trying to think what else I can say about him. You know, former lawyer. He's heavily involved in law stuff. That's his expertise, especially constitutional law. Inspired me to want to care more about the law itself, whether I do, teaching or attorney work, whatever in the future. That's what got me on this whole path, given thought to all of that. And the reason I find him iconic, like someone I look up to, is he's conservative in the sense that, like, he believes conservative things, but he's not tribal. So he holds to his views and then proceeds to get attacked by both sides and still holds to his views because he actually believes them. And, I hope I can be like that.
Yeah. For me, someone I do look up to a lot, and not just because I like his content, it's going to be Hidetaka Miyazaki, which Joshua, if you're watching, clearly does not know who that is. That is the creator of Dark Souls.
Ah.
Yeah. And I do look up to him so much because he's so unafraid, which at first you could get it because the series was pretty small, but he's so unafraid to just make part of a game for himself. Like, it's my thing. I'm going to enjoy it. He's just not afraid at all. He has come out and said that there will be a poison swamp in every game he makes because he likes poison swamps and everyone else hates them. That's something I think we should try to emulate on our show.
Yeah. No, I like that. I like when sometimes you just do something for yourself. We actually do it at the drive-in, the summer drive-in. We, like a lot of series, we let people vote on Facebook group. But for the summer drive-in, that's us. We choose what we're going to do for that because it's fun. But also for some reason, it's just Japanese names. Always throw me off. And it's funny because, like, I do it too, where I'm like, you know who makes the absolute best video game music? Yoko Shimomura. And it's just like, but because I'm just not used to hearing Japanese names, like whenever someone just drops it, I'm like, oh, brain had to catch up with that.
Yeah. But if you're on a laptop, consider rating and reviewing our show on Podchaser or Good Pods. That helps boost us a lot. The algorithm loves those. If you're on your phone, rate us, review us, comment on us, tell us what you hate about us. But we wanted to thank one of our supporters from, I think he supports us on Patreon, I'm pretty sure, Austin Nance. You can get your own shout out for $3 a month. You just send me $3 directly and I'll shout you out on every episode for the rest of the time.
Yeah, if you send it directly to TJ, you're guaranteed to get the shout outs from TJ.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true. And then
on all of his podcasts.
Yeah, it's true. You can check out the rest of our, even whole church, but check out the rest of our Gaming Icon series. The link's in the show notes. But today, if you've noticed, we are talking about Xbox icons. We opened with the quote from the end of Halo 2, which I think is nearly universally accepted as one of the greatest Xbox games of all time, unless you're Josh. So we're going over characters well, don't argue. We're going over characters we personally find iconic and which ones the mainstream culture would probably find iconic. We might cheat a little bit. So did Xbox back in the day. So, Josh, what's your history with Xbox? I know it's not a lot.
Yeah, yeah. No, what I was gonna say earlier, it's just it might be one of the best Xbox games, and that might be why I'm not really an Xbox guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm on this episode because the hosts that do like Xbox were unavailable for various reasons this week, so you got stuck with me. My history is pretty simple. I was really excited for it when the first one came out. Got it for Christmas. Beat Halo really, really quickly. Played like 2 other games and was like, hey, this system isn't fun. Then I got a PlayStation. And became a PlayStation guy really quickly because I was like, Ratchet and Clank. This is like Halo, but funny. And turns out I like Halo, but funny. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Xbox really wanted to be aimed at a more adult audience, especially back then.
Yeah. And I'm just always a child.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
you were a child at that time.
Yeah, that's true. Like,
Yeah.
especially at that point when it's like, hey, kill a bunch of that. And I guess I'm just like, especially, I'll say back then, I think I was just really good at video games. And like, the older I get, the slower my brain gets and the worse I get at video games. But like, I think it being easy was less the problem and more of like, if it's easy and the entire thing of it for me is just playing through, I got bored too quick. Ratchet and Clank was probably still easy, but then you throw in these like Courtney Gear jokes, and every single game's title is going to be a reference to a butt for some reason, and I'm like, yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I grew up with Xbox. I was a solid Xbox kid right up until I had to buy them for myself, and I could get a PS4 for like $60. That's what I did. And now I don't really play either.
I would like to one day.
Yeah. I do love my PS5, but I'm a PC guy now, which technically makes me an Xbox person because of Microsoft. But we're gonna jump into it, and we're gonna share our number 3 picks for personal iconic character. I think Josh got taken into the Xbox dimension. That's not a place you want to be. Unless it's like the original Xbox, which had the coolest UI of all time. But for me, number 3, I think. Are you there?
Yeah. How long have you been there?
Me?
Yeah.
I was just talking the whole time.
Oh, okay. Last
Yeah,
thing
'cause why
I've
would I
heard.
stop?
Yeah, last thing I heard was you got a PlayStation for $60, and then the screen just went blank.
Oh,
The next thing I know, you're talking about your top 3.
yeah, you froze
I'm
for us.
lost.
I jumped into my top 3. I
Oh,
was
okay.
gonna start with my number 3 most iconic pick, and here's the deal. All right, I'm cheating. Only one of the games on my top 3 is actually exclusive to Xbox.
I had wondered about that.
It's true. Uh, but I'm starting with Turok as my number 3 most iconic character for Xbox, and this is the worst one for me in terms of like working for the list because Turok started on like in 64 or something.
Yeah, as soon as I looked up the name, I was like, "This is a Nintendo game, TJ." But I wasn't gonna say anything. I figured you knew
But
better
it
than
wasn't. It wasn't when I was 8 years old, because they rebooted the series, and it went on Xbox. And Xbox did this thing back then where they would pay to have exclusive rights for a game for a little while, so they could sell more games that had the little stamp on it that said only on Xbox.
me. Like the third of the Banjo series,
Yeah,
which is infuriating because the first 2 were Nintendo exclusives.
yeah, yeah. That's what you get for being a PlayStation guy. But Turok, it's just that's one of the things that comes to mind for me on Xbox because I was, like I said, 8 years old, and dinosaurs are awesome. Obviously. So I'm really not sure how much other people think about Turok, if ever. But a huge part of my childhood was beating the Turok reboot on the original Xbox as a child, which is I was way too young to be playing that game. If you're not familiar, the premise of Turok is you are a guy teleported to the past, working with uh, basically Native Americans to kill evil alien dinosaurs.
Okay, since it was like original Xbox, is this going to be like? Are the graphics so bad that I wouldn't enjoy it, or can I
Horrible.
still enjoy this? Because
You would
like
hate it.
that's so sad. Because that premise sounds wonderful.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I think a lot of people are still able to like look around that to enjoy old games, and I do kind of feel bad for people who aren't able to do that because there's no way they're gonna make another Turok game. But it's great. I love it a lot. I think it stood out a lot to me personally because I was 8.
Oh,
Yeah,
that'll do
and
it.
fighting dinosaurs, and there was a lot of blood. It is really gory.
I'm sad. I can get it. I can play some older games with bad graphics, but usually I have to have like some nostalgia factor. I'm getting ready to get a Steam Deck whenever we move, and the first thing I plan on doing is playing DK64
Yeah.
just immediately. And I know that the graphics are bad. I just never beat it because my brother broke my Nintendo, and gosh darn it, I'm gonna beat it.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
will say the one I'm talking about specifically is Turok Evolution, but I don't even remember like the name of the character. To me, it was always Turok. That's definitely not his name. It's like Talset or something. Um, but he really stands up for the little guy. He fights the fight that's not his because it's the right thing to do, and I look up to that a lot. He engages in quite a bit of gratuitous violence. I'm gonna leave that behind. I'm not gonna bring that with me into 2025.
Okay, but what if you're teleported to a different time where you have to team up with Native Americans and alien dinosaurs
Yeah,
around?
free
Would
game.
you? Okay,
Yeah.
because that's not 2025.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
That's
so
not.
that's
We're not
yeah,
in
that
2020.
doesn't count.
We're in an ageless epic. There's.
Yeah,
I have guns though, so aliens should have left the guns.
yeah.
Yeah, that's their fault that I'm gonna kill them all. So
Is there anything you would emulate from his character though?
yeah, I already said it.
No, did I miss that part?
Yeah.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
we're recording late at night. I'm a morning person, very much a morning person.
Mm-hmm. So, number 3 pick. You have a number 3 personal Xbox icon.
I do. I just remember that I gave you my top 3, but I didn't even in my own mind think like who's number 3, 2, and 1. Okay, I got it. I got this. It took me a
Yeah,
second.
you do. You
I'm
sure
going
got
through
it.
my own list. I'm like, who is number 3? And it's actually really obvious who my third one would be. Munch, which is also sort of cheating. So the Oddworld games, the first Oddworld I think was just PC or something. I don't know. Don't remember. I never played that one. When I did have an Xbox for a week, one of the 3 games I beat was Oddworld Munch's Odyssey. It was a really easy game, but it was a lot of fun. I liked the quirkiness of it and just like the ability where you just would go to a little vending machine and I'm gonna get a super jump drink real quick, and then you could super jump. It was cool. The reason it's cheating is because these games have been reported and re-released, and you can play them on Switch. But I didn't find that out until today, so I feel like I should get a pass. Also, as soon as I have $30, I'm playing this on the Switch. That's fantastic.
Yeah. You know what's really funny though? The first time I played Oddworld, it was definitely on a PlayStation. It was on a
What?
friend's PlayStation too. Yeah.
Munch is Munch on that one too? Munch's Odyssey.
I don't know.
Okay, so there's 3. I don't I've never played the other two. I only played Munch. The gameplay was fun. The reason I'm choosing Munch, other than the fact that he's an Xbox and I have very limited characters that I'm familiar with to choose from, because again, I had an Xbox for like a week. I actually really liked his activist streak. So there's two characters. There's Abe and Munch. Abe is like, he has this spiritual journey and he's gone back and he can possess people and he's got like weird whatever powers and he's like, it's very anti-industrial. So it's like spiritualism and like the kind of anti-industrial that J.R.R. Tolkien was. So like if you read Lord of the Rings and are like aware of the point, it's pretty similar. That's like Abe's part of the story. Munch is the last of his kind, and he was part of like this place where different creatures were being locked up and tested on, basically. When he gets freed, part of his mission while he's going along doing all this stuff with Abe, he is going to set all of those animals free that are being tested on. Alien animals, of course, because if you can see the screen on YouTube, these are aliens. So yeah, I like that he wanted to free the other animals. He was, a little selfless. He could have just been like, hey, I'm free, peacing out. So I'm going to emulate his desire to free creatures that are being tested on, because that's something that I don't love when it's not necessary. I think there's good and bad ways to do that. I don't know what to emulate. If these drinks are giving him super jump and stuff, I feel like they're probably steroids. I'll emulate that. I don't want to be addicted to steroids. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah, so that's what I got for number 3.
Yeah. And we're going to do this a little different. We're just going to throw in a couple honorable mentions between 3 and 2 to pace ourselves, right? And I just want to get out there and say I could have absolutely done this without cheating and only said Xbox exclusive characters like Marcus Phoenix from Gears of War. The problem is I was just never huge into Gears of War. Don't roast me over a spit. They're good games. I like them. I have played the first 3. I did not play, and Judgment. I did not play 4 or 5, which I feel like is pretty common, but they just weren't ever what I was thinking about playing when I was on Xbox, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I've always known that these games exist. That is the only thing I can say about these. Yeah.
I feel like Gears of War was absolutely everywhere in the late 2000s.
Which is why I was aware it existed. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it really, I felt like I was missing out on something, even though I was playing the games.
That's bad. Having FOMO of something you're currently doing is bad.
Yeah.
Also, though, I have that about Disney sometimes. Like, if I haven't actively done research before I go to Disney World, I'm like, is there something new that happened that I just forgot to look up? And then I spend a large portion of my time in Disney World wondering what I'm missing in Disney World, because you're always missing something.
That's true.
Yeah,
that is true. I do think though it would be really funny, and I didn't send this to get a slide made for it, but Soul Calibur 4 had console specific exclusive DLC characters, which means specifically in Soul Calibur 4, Yoda is an Xbox character. So,
well then, I do remember that. And then Vader was an exclusive to PlayStation, right?
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about that. That was cool. I remember almost getting the game because that was a thing, and then being like, I don't want to be Vader. He's a bad guy. Yeah, but then I wasn't willing to get an Xbox, Yeah,
Starkiller was in both.
What? Starkiller
was a secret third thing?
Starkiller is just one of the best video game characters.
That's true. But
we should have included him in the episode that comes out next week that we already recorded.
Yeah.
But we didn't.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Sure did. But pick number 2 for personal iconic characters from Xbox. Josh, who was yours? In your vast, limited experience.
Well, this is one that I feel like TJ probably also would have picked if I didn't give my list first, actually.
Yeah.
Blinks.
I love this game.
See, I think it's Blinks the Time Agent, but my brain goes, it's Blinks the Time Cat.
Yeah,
That's what
I
he
don't
is.
even
He's
call
Blinks
him
the Time
Blinks.
Cat. Yeah.
At some point between playing it and rediscovering it, I dropped the L out. So now in my head, he's Binks the Time Cat.
Oh, me too. It wasn't until I like because I was sending you the names and I didn't want you to call me out for being an idiot. So I was like researching on my, which by the way, I got two of the names wrong before I sent you a text, but then I edited my text before I sent it.
Awesome.
Yeah, yeah. But like, Binks was one of them because I really thought it was Binks, but no, it's Blinks the Time Agent. I love Blinks. He is hilarious. I actually didn't play this while I had an Xbox. My neighbor had an Xbox, and there was 5 or 6 games that I played on his Xbox because I couldn't get them on my PlayStation, and this was one of them. I never played the sequel, but I loved the first game. I thought it was a lot of fun, just because like anything with time is fun. This is like that Click, the Adam Sandler movie. Like if you had that controller, that is his power set, which is just fun for a video game. It's just kind of, I don't know, it's kind of a quirky little game. But the reason I really love like him as a character though, it's so funny. Princess gets stolen. He's just like a factory worker. Like this is just a time factory. He just goes in, you work on time, you leave. He's not a hero. And everybody's just standing like, oh man, this sucks. And they show a picture of the princess, and he's like, she's hot. I'm going to save the day. Me, I'm going to go. And that was the entire motivation for everything that happens afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's really fun. You know, it was different.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it was a 3D platformer that tried to change things.
It was cool. And I wish we did more with it. Weirdly enough, now I'm connecting the dots and making this about PlayStation. When the Jack and Daxter game that came out after the third Jack that was only on PSP, and it wasn't one of the Daxter games. I forget what it was called. But Jack no longer has dark power, so he only can use like the light version of... I can't think of what that stuff is. If only James was here to save the day. He's not. But anyway, some of the light powers could do some of that stuff where like you're controlling time and stuff. Like you could slow it down and then like go through the little, like there's always little puzzle stuff in these kind of platformers. It was fun. Yeah. But no, I like these games. It was a lot of fun. It was really quirky, and the mechanics are really what sold me. But as far as a character, I want to emulate the fact that he was able to just kind of say, I'm going to be a hero, and then just do it. But I will emulate how he definitely just was a kind of objectifying the princess. He knew nothing about her other than he thought she was hot.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Yeah. So, I don't want to do that. Like, hopefully when I see my wife and I'm not just like, yeah, I could stay married. She's hot. Hopefully there's other reasons why I stick to it, Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, my number 2, and it really does hurt to say this. Go back. Yeah, it's Master Chief. I'm gonna go with Master Chief at the 2 spot. I know that's crazy. Please keep listening. Don't click off. Yeah, it's Master Chief. Clean sweep, easiest sweep in the world for number 1. And that's why it's my number 2. There's just one other, I think, cooler guy that deserves number 1 more for me. And I really wish we had done this a couple days ago, so that people wouldn't accuse me of recency bias for my number 1 pick. But it's Master Chief. I'm not going to explain Master Chief to you. You probably know him. That is the only character on Xbox I think I can say that about. Like, which is saying a lot, because Xbox was really big, but he is the only Xbox character that I would put anywhere near the level of Mario and Sonic and Pikachu. Because he's Master Chief. If you've never played Halo, you probably still know who Master Chief is. And he's just pretty... It was pretty generally accepted when I was growing up that Master Chief was the coolest person ever. Because he was Master Chief. And that's never really stopped. Almost all of the good pieces of Halo media, in most people's opinions, are about why Master Chief is so much cooler than everyone else.
I just can't wait for him to take his helmet off and for us all to see that it's Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank God they're not going to do that ever. They would never show Master Chief's face,
Yeah. Not even on a TV show.
especially not in a live action TV adaptation.
Yeah. I feel like so we have a series going on now, our companion series to our regular theme. So our annual theme is polarization, and we're trying to find the good in the other. And our companion series, which is free on Patreon, you can be a free subscriber on Patreon and get that content. We're having all the hosts, or not all, because there's only 12 months and there's like 14 or 15 hosts. A lot of our hosts will be being interviewed and trying to find as many good things to say about something they don't like as possible. I think I'm probably going to go with Halo. See how many good things I can find. Because, like, for me, he's just a very boring character. And I think the design's great. I think he looks cool. And I'm really glad that a lot of people get meaning out of him and stuff. He's the least interesting character for me on Xbox. But I think the same thing about Optimus Prime. Everybody loves Optimus Prime, and I just never got it. I was like, why? He's boring. But I have bad opinions. It's literally my nickname on the show. I'm really glad that people get inspiration from him, though. Because finding a place to get inspiration in can be hard. So if you find it, that's cool.
You know that one's going up there.
What? Optimus Prime? You didn't know that I don't like Optimus Prime?
That's insane.
Yeah.
That might be worse, actually.
I've never cared about the Transformers, but it's mostly because Optimus Prime just bothers me. He just annoys me. Yeah.
That's insane.
I mean, I only started liking Superman like last year. Or the year before. I don't remember. I can't keep up. My mind can be changed.
Can it?
It changed about Superman. Maybe someone will just write like a super badass Halo comic and I'll suddenly like Master Chief.
Oh, you should read them. They exist.
Which ones?
All of them.
Send me a place to start. I'll do it.
Right, the comics, the books, everything about Halo is good, except
okay. I'm making a pledge now. I'm gonna read the Halo comics, and for people who are interested in whether or not I change my mind, they can just keep following the show, and I'll bring it up every now and then. Yeah.
Yeah. You should read the ones that are about Master Chief though, because there's a lot that aren't. Anyway, what do you emulate from Master Chief? I would like to be 7'2". I'm not sure I can make that happen in 2025. I would like to bench press several thousand pounds. I'm not sure I can make that happen in 2025.
It's not that hard.
Yeah, all right. That's what I'm doing then. I'm gonna emulate that. I'm gonna get strong enough to just toss.
But like, can you tell me anything about his personality other than like he's cool?
What do you need? What else do you need? He's cool.
I don't know. Like I would say like TJ is cool, but like I could tell somebody about your person. Like you're funny, you know. Like you're a stand-up person. I know you're going to be honest. Like it's one of the distinctual TJ things is he's gonna have my back, but if it's a choice of having my back or being honest, he's gonna be honest. Like, is there anything that's like distinctually Master Chief, or is he just cool?
Everything you just said is true about Master Chief.
So you're already Master Chief.
I've been trying to be like Master Chief my whole life.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So everything I think about TJ is what other people think about Master Chief.
Yeah. Also,
that's cool.
I wouldn't say he is funny intentionally. The game writes around him to make him say the punchline for a lot of stuff, which is super funny. I'm not going to give that to him because he's just like the straight man.
Yeah.
And he's really good at it, and it is really funny.
That is also you, though. Somehow everything's always set up for you to say the punchline, and you are the straight man.
Yeah.
Figuratively and literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty good. I've been Master Chief my whole life.
Yeah.
However, I will say he is brave to a fault, which I get it. If you were engineered from childhood to be the perfect soldier, I don't know. If I was in those boots, I probably would also never give up literally ever at anything. But for everyone else, I do think you need to know when to cut your losses.
Yeah. Doesn't that like Aristotle's mean like where he talks about like virtue is always between two extremes of like the
Yeah.
extreme of running away and running towards something blindly is
Yeah.
courage. Yeah.
Yeah. Which I don't want to. I don't want to do that. I don't want to get in over my head. Which he is Master Chief, so he's never in actually over his head. See, this isn't fair even because he's Master Chief.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess.
What's he gonna do? Lose? I doubt it.
What if he's fighting Optimus Prime, you know?
Master Chief wins that fight, and Optimus turns it into a lesson for the other Transformers. They both win.
Man. Also, I'm adding that to the What If series. I bet someone would vote for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Master Chief fought Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good one. But yeah. I don't know what else to say. I'm not gonna commit to a genocide. It's a good one. He's genocidal.
Yeah.
But then that's when Halo 2 comes in and he's like, oh wait, the Arbiters are a cool guy. Oh man, I can't kill all the Covenant. This guy's chill. He's really the perfect character. He has no flaws.
Yeah, he's TJ. I thought he was Chuck Norris. Turns out he was TJ.
Yeah.
Who
Chuck
knew?
Norris's only flaw is that he's pretending to be an old man.
I thought you were going to say Chuck Norris's only flaw is that he's not TJ.
That's crazy. But a couple more honorable mentions. I think I saw you. I think there is a slide for him already. Ezio de Firenze Auditore, or Auditore de Firenze. It's not an Xbox game, but everyone loves Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, no slide for
maybe I'm
that.
wrong. Okay, cool.
I thought that was like all systems.
It is. That's what I'm saying. That's what I just said
okay.
out loud. But it's a nostalgia thing, man. You know, I grew up playing the games on Xbox, so.
For a long time, I thought they were PlayStation exclusives.
Exactly. Frank West from Dead Rising. He is actually huge.
I was
fan.
actually going to bring this one up too, as an
Yeah.
honorable mention. Yeah.
Yeah. Great game. Well, what a fun concept. Frank's cool. He's a photographer. He's just like, man, I gotta let the world know. And when he's in this mall, he's like, well, man, I should save this mall full of survivors and also zombie apocalypse. I can take whatever I want from the stores in the mall. So that's pretty relatable, I think.
This might be a little weird, but he kind of makes me think of Isaac Clarke. It's just easier to see how he's being in what's that word I'm trying to think of? I must say creative. Like he's because you know they both do the same thing. Like Isaac Clarke didn't have weapons. He's a mechanic. He just was ingenuitive. So he was like, hey, you know what? I'm going to use my mechanic stuff, kill these space zombies. But because
At
the way the
first.
game is built, it feels like he's just a guy fighting zombies in space. And like this was always supposed to happen because you're not familiar with those tools. So it's harder to see how he's being clever. Whereas in Dead Rising, pretty easy to see how he's being clever. When you go to the toy store, take out a toy lightsaber and start beating zombies with it, or you get a lawnmower. That's my favorite thing to do. It was great.
Yeah, that's actually why I think Dead Rising 2 might be one of the best video game sequels of all time. Because Dead Rising 2, like, you just get really crazy with it and start combining items. He's like, I found a bucket. I found a drill. Boom, drill bucket. Put it on a zombie's head.
I never played
That's
Dead Rising
classic.
2, but that sounds great.
It's really fun. It's a great time. But yeah, it really does deserve to be up here. Dead Rising 2, I do think is better. Left 4 Dead,
Yeah, I'd say,
So just since
while
you
we're talking
played-
about zombies,
one of the best games ever, actually.
I think that's just correct. The amount of time I spent in college playing this is,
Yeah.
yeah, I should have been doing homework, but
Mm-mm.
Left 4 Dead's
Left
so
4 Dead.
good.
It's so good. A modern day remake of Left 4 Dead would kill. Would
I might kill
absolutely
for
kill.
it. Yeah.
I would kill for it. I would kill an entire race of aliens for it. Last
I-
year,
oh, okay.
I'm a changed man this year.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah. You had to
Yeah.
leave that behind in 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have done it though. So, for personal number one pick, Josh, I'm gonna let you go first. Who's your number one iconic Xbox character of all time?
Okay. So this was difficult for a weird reason. I had to actually think. I'm going to go with the hero of Oakvale. All the Fable games are great. To the point that, like, I think I've made it pretty clear I'm not an Xbox person this episode, right? I haven't bought a PS5 since PS5's been out. I almost bought Xbox Series S as soon as they announced they're restarting Fable games. It also had a little bit to do with the Indiana Jones was going to be out on Xbox first. Then I realized I can get Steam Deck and I can play all that and play the new Ratchet and Clank, and I'm like, yeah, you know, why not do all of it? But yeah, no, I love Fable. This was one I would go to my neighbor's house when the new ones came out. The reason it was difficult, Fable 2 and 3, gameplay is so much better. Like, significantly better. By the time you can do magic, also have a gun, and have a dog, there isn't a better video game. Like, there's, yeah, Kingdom Hearts. I mean, there are games I like more, but, like, mechanically, of, like, what is just fun to do, shoot stuff, throw magic fireballs, have dog. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a
Yeah.
fantastic game. I'm so excited that they're bringing it back. Like I literally at work the trailer dropped, and I just told my manager, I was like, I'm going to the restroom to watch this Fable trailer. I think I watched it 5 times before I came back to the kitchen. I was like, yeah, I'm watching this. I was so
a 2-minute
excited.
trailer.
I think so. It was great though. Oh man, I got so excited. But yeah, even though the game mechanics are way more fun in the later games, that story in the first game, where your character's like parents, entire family, the entire freaking village just gets slaughtered, and then you get brought to the Heroes Guild, which also Heroes Guild, very simple name, but it's just kind of like, oh, it's kind of cool actually. It's so like it's interesting how the game built it, where like I could see the plot being, I'm mad as hell. Let me go kill the things that killed all of my family. But instead, the plot is, hey, you find your long lost sister, you learn what it means to be a hero, and your decision at the end of the game is like whether or not you're either going to kill the bad guy. And it's like, it's not actually just a revenge story, which it easily could have been, but instead became a story of like, what does it actually mean to be a hero? And for me, like, especially because I played that when I was pretty darn young, you know, like for me, like that was a big deal. Like, I picked up the game, I saw how it began, and I was like, heck yeah, I'm going to use magic and kill things for revenge. And instead, the game invites you to make decisions and say, actually, hey, what do you think it really means to be a hero? And that was like one of the first times I think a game made me think, you know, instead of just, hey, I love Ratchet and Clank, but here's Mini Nuke, blow up things. You know, there's not a lot of thinking in Ratchet and Clank. There's blowing stuff up and laughing. That's it. The hero of Oakdale, though, depending how you choose that last battle, he's a real hero. And I like that story. So I want to emulate that ability to kind of put vengeance to the side and prioritize being the kind of person I would say is heroic. As far as things to emulate, some of the magic and stuff that he chose to get involved with when I was making the decisions were pretty questionable. So maybe not get involved with dark magic, perhaps.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. I do think Fable is an unbelievable height for Xbox.
God, yeah. So good.
There's not another RPG that they've made that even touches Fable. And I really do think I think Fable 2 at least is probably better than at least 3 Halo games.
I think if I was actually like not just doing characters, doing like all-time favorite games, Fable 2 probably makes my top 5.
Yeah.
Assuming
Fable is
we don't let me just choose 5 Kingdom Hearts games. I assume
yeah.
that that would be against the rules.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
probably not. But Fable is special.
Yeah.
There's
For sure.
I can't think of another game that is fun for other reasons than the fact that you can buy every house in the game,
I forgot about
crank up the rent, and just make money that way.
It's also just secretly Monopoly at the same time. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
There's nothing else like it.
I'm going to put it this way. Now this is mostly just specifically for Will Rose and people who are like diehard fans of our show. I think if Kingdom Hearts did not exist, what Kingdom Hearts is to me now, this would have been to me. You know, I feel like that makes sense.
Yeah. And I just, that is one thing I think that has kept the PlayStation ahead of Xbox is not only because it is Japanese in Japan, it's the
Yeah.
JRPGs that are on PlayStation that Xbox gets like none of because it's
Yeah.
not Japanese. It's that simple.
But this is good. This is a good game.
Fable is phenomenal.
The decision to start bringing guns in. Also, I just like, I really want to figure out who was it that decided to, let's introduce Pet Dog.
Yeah,
like
get a
that's
pet dog.
that was so smart. They were like, you know what? We got magic and guns. You know what people really want? A dog. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the most American RPG.
Yeah, I think that's probably pretty accurate. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
So, for me, the most iconic Xbox character to me is Ryu Hayabusa from Ninja Gaiden. And if you are a Ninja Gaiden fan, you are well aware that the day before yesterday, they announced and released a remake of Ninja Gaiden Black 2, which I have been playing. And it's phenomenal. If I'm not going to get super into it, if you are a Ninja Gaiden fan, I'm sorry, DM me, we can talk about it separately. For those who are uninitiated, I'm just going to say the game's fantastic. Real Ninja Gaiden fans know that there are some problems with the Black series of Ninja Gaiden games.
I just want to say, so people know that it's not a recency bias thing. When I was making the slides, before TJ told me his picks, I had this on there because I knew this was his top pick.
Yeah, I wanted Ryu Hayabusa in Smash Bros. So badly. I couldn't believe it. He was pretty much one of the only characters that I actually wanted in the game.
Yeah. I mean, I assume you wanted Mario.
No, he's why would I want Mario in a platform fighting game? He's boring. What's he gonna do? Punch me?
I think the game also would have been cool if it was literally just Mario, Sora from Kingdom Hearts, and Ryu from Ninja Gaiden. I mean, we would be the only ones playing probably, but
yeah,
it'd be great.
But if you don't know Ninja Gaiden, now's a great time to start because for a first Ninja Gaiden game, I can't think of a better option than Ninja Gaiden Black 2. Just came out 2 days ago as a remake. It's really good. It looks fantastic. It's on Unreal Engine 5. I know a couple of people who have already beaten the game 4 times. It's been 2 days.
God.
And if I had known the morning of, after that Xbox Direct that it was live, I probably also would have beaten it a couple of times by now. It's phenomenal. There's nothing like Ninja Gaiden. They've also announced Ninja Gaiden 4. Which I think comes out sometime this year.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Because last year you did an episode where y'all were talking about like your top 5 like Gen 8 games or something, and you mentioned this game, and like a week after you recorded it, I think is when they announced the 5th Ninja Gaiden's game, or maybe it was a week after it published, a month after you recorded.
No, they're releasing Ninja Gaiden 4 this year at some point.
Oh, is that what they?
You're thinking about something else.
I just know they announced something about Ninja Gaiden pretty shortly after you were recorded that. I
Masters
was like,
Collection.
huh,
Ninja Gaiden Masters Collection.
yeah.
That's
Well,
what
I
that
knew it was
was.
something.
Yeah, which is also a great option to play all these games. Now, this is also cheating because Ninja Gaiden started as a side scroller on an NES or SNES. That's a different series. That's a whole different series. Different character. Ryu's awesome. If you take all of the coolest traits of a ninja you can imagine and put them into one character, that is Ryu Hayabusa. Also, look at him.
He
Pretty
does look
sick.
cool. Yeah.
He looks cool. He is cool. I do think he's cooler than Master Chief.
What about Optimus Prime?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Because here's the thing, Optimus Prime doesn't have a skin in Halo 3. Ryu Hayabusa does. Master Chief doesn't count because he was already in the game. So he couldn't get a skin in the game. You see? But the
I think that still counts as
Hayabusa-
not getting a skin in the game. He
yeah,
loses.
exactly. Yeah, he loses. The Hayabusa armor unlockable in Halo 3, it's like one of the hardest things to get. But it looks awesome. You can just be Ryu as a Spartan. It's so sick. You get the katana on your back and everything. But it's in Halo. It's sick. He's just a cool guy, man. He's honorable. He's defending his village. He's standing up for what his village believes in. He watches his dad, who is named Joe, by the way.
I love it.
His dad's name is Joe Hayabusa. Joe. Gotta love the
Yeah,
Japanese.
fantastic.
Watches his dad die. He's not worried about that. He's like, man, I gotta stop them from stealing the demon statue. Because he's the dragon ninja. That's his job. He has the true dragon sword for a reason.
Yeah.
He's gonna fulfill his duty. I just
You
want to
said
be
duty.
like that. I said duty. And he's gonna fulfill it. Now, let me say, Ninja Gaiden is from this series of Ninja Gaiden at least is from the early to mid 2000s or early to late 2000s, I guess, and 2025 apparently. But they had certain opinions about women. That in video games they should be sexy and not wear many clothes. If you are going to play these games, be ready for that. That's a thing. But Ryu, my glorious King Ryu, he never cared. He was like, wow, beautiful women? No, thank you. I have to go kill a bunch of werewolves.
It's
in a
like Luffy
small
in One
Italian
Piece.
city. Yeah, he is. But with a sword. But he can actually use it, not like Wano.
Yeah,
But
Wano
man,
doesn't count.
So special. Also, the games are just super hard. I think this would remedy the Xbox problem for Josh if he tried to play them. If you think Halo is easy, I almost guarantee you will not think Ninja Gaiden is easy.
I feel like if I played Halo today, I probably wouldn't find it easy.
Probably not.
Yeah. But now, see, the problem is when it started, I feel like people forget how, like, first-person shooters or, like, shooters weren't as big a thing back then. Like, most games were platformers or side-scrollers, and then Xbox happened.
Yeah. And, well, here's the thing. And
now, shooters are just so common. I feel like if I started Halo now, I'd be like, it's just another shooter game.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. Halo is responsible for so much of the genre of FPS, which is why, talking about the mainstream icons, Master Chief's #1 for Xbox easily. Because he's Master Chief. But Halo as a franchise has paved the way for so many other games. If you go back and you play Call of Duty 1 and 2 and 3 and SOCOM and Medal of Honor and all the other slop that was out there before the release of Halo, and then you play every FPS game after Halo, there is a noticeable difference.
Yeah. Well, and that's like, man, I don't have the right word for it. First off, I liked Destiny, which is just PlayStation trying to do Halo and not as good. But I think it's just I was at a point in my life where it was easier for me to get into that kind of game when Destiny came out. But I was gonna say, oh, it's also like Assassin's Creed, like that type of game. Completely different after Assassin's Creed. Well, specifically after Assassin's Creed 2 came out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we couldn't have any of the Batman games we've had. Like, the Arkham games would not be a thing if Assassin's Creed wasn't a thing. And I feel like a lot of games say the same thing about Halo.
Yeah, but before that, one more character we should mention. I don't know if you got a slide for him or not, but Sam Fisher.
Isn't that
I
the
don't
Dead
think you
Rising
know.
guy?
No, that's Frank Walker. Sam Fisher from Splinter Cell.
Oh, no. I always forget that that exists.
Yeah, that paved the way even for Assassin's Creed. Like Splinter Cell was instrumental in making stealth games good. Because there are some really old ones like Thief, Tencho, that kind of thing, that are fine, but Splinter Cell happens. Tom Clancy makes like 9 of them, and then every game after that, the stealth is like really well refined.
Yeah, I even remember some of like there were like levels from like the older Spider-Man game or like Rascal to go like super far back, I guess. Like how the sneaking parts were just infuriating, and I feel like every game post Assassin's Creed, when you have sneaking levels or like part where you have to be like sneaky or whatever, stealthy, they don't suck anymore. They're not infuriating in the same way.
Yeah,
It's a
most of
different
the
way
time.
now.
Sometimes they still suck.
Yeah,
But
that's
that's a
true.
game design issue.
Yeah, they could have
that's a
just played
choice at this
Assassin's
point.
Creed and chose to do it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyone else you want to mention? Geralt of Rivia.
Yeah, I wouldn't have
Yeah.
remembered his name. I felt like we can't not mention Witcher.
Yeah. Not Xbox exclusive, but the first one was.
Yeah. So it kind
I
of
think
counts.
the second one.
That's the thing. Microsoft, this is what I learned doing research for this. So yeah, the second one was so many Xbox games they just reported to other things. So like they're not
That's what
really
happens.
exclusive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is like what happened to Sora. Sora was a PlayStation character and then was a Nintendo character, then was a PlayStation, Nintendo, Xbox character, and it's like, yeah, now he's his own thing. I don't remember what these were, but I was looking up
Cuphead.
all-time strongest Xbox characters, and this came up, and I thought it was funny.
Cuphead.
Could you
yeah,
tell me
they kill,
who they are?
They kill the devil.
What?
Yeah. That's Cuphead and his brother Mugman.
Fantastic. How do they kill the devil? Do they just give him too much caffeine, or?
They shoot him.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah. That's Bruce Lee.
Yeah, I had to do the honorable mention, Xbox exclusive Bruce Lee Quest of the Dragon. As far as I know, I can't think of any like other Bruce Lee games. So like, Bruce Lee is an Xbox exclusive in my mind.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Bruce Lee is in UFC 3 and 4 as a fighter.
Yeah, but that's because they're like, it's like when you put an Xbox character in like Smash Bros. He's still an Xbox character.
Yeah. Which is really funny. Banjo-Kazooie,
Nintendo
picture
character.
Rareware character. Companies all
Yeah,
by
but
Xbox.
like, you can't think of, like, if you think Banjo, you think Nintendo. You don't think Xbox.
No, I think Xbox.
I think that might be a generation thing. I think my generation played him on Nintendo. And then was like, oh, hey, cool. They made a spin-off of him on Xbox once. His games were still the Nintendo games. That's just the other one. Which was a lot of fun. I'm not down on it. It was awesome. I spent a lot of time at my neighbor's house when that came out.
Yeah, but okay. To you, who are the top 3 iconic Xbox characters for the mainstream, what do you think everyone else is going to say?
I just assumed they were going to pick 3 people from Halo.
I wouldn't say that. Except I might say that. It would not surprise me if you asked someone for 3 Xbox characters and they said Master Chief, Cortana, the alien from Halo.
Yeah, like
Whose name is Arbiter, but
yeah.
his name's not Arbiter, but he's the Arbiter.
See, I feel like if you ask an actual gamer, or maybe not like a hardcore gamer, but someone who plays enough games, not just like a rando, like
Yeah.
no offense, Will Rose wouldn't come up with this list, but someone who's played games that isn't like super involved might come up with Master Chief, one of those people from Left 4 Dead, and then the Witcher guy. I could see that being
Yeah,
a list.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna say Master Chief first. I think a
Absolutely.
surprising amount of people would still put Cortana in second or third.
Yeah,
Because
I hear that name a lot.
Cortana was so popular from Halo that Microsoft was like, hey, people are doing virtual assistants now. Let's name ours after the virtual assistant in Halo.
Fantastic. That's where that came from.
That's why it's called
That's
Cortana.
great. I never connected those dots. Yeah.
Yeah. Geralt of Rivia might make it up there. I don't know. A lot of Witcher fans have only played The Witcher 3.
I just feel like that's sad.
Yeah, but that's also
I don't
fair.
know. I've never played any of them, so I don't
Witcher
know.
3 is better than the other two by a landslide.
Yeah, but that's like, I'm sorry, I don't have a lot of Xbox examples. It's like when people are like, I'm Kingdom Hearts fan, and they played like specifically Kingdom Hearts 2 and maybe Kingdom Hearts 3, and I'm like, no, that's not a Kingdom Hearts fan. You've played 2 games. And also, Kingdom Hearts 3 doesn't even make sense if you didn't play the DS games or any of that. So like, what do you mean you're a fan?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I'm a Christian. I've read like 2 books of the Bible. You don't have to read your Bible to be a Christian, but I'm also kind of like, why bother claiming it at that point? I'm like, I just don't get it.
That is true.
Just don't get it.
But I will say, if you look up the list for top selling Xbox games of all time, like half the top 5 is Halo.
I was going to assume the entire top 5 were Halo.
No, you know what breaks it up? Because I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So the first 2 Halo games are 1 and 2. The third most sold game on Xbox of all time is Sneak King.
What is that? I've never even heard of that.
That is the Burger King hide and seek game on Xbox.
So can we say the Burger King is an Xbox character?
We can.
I changed my list.
I think it's valid. Also, it's a great game. It's really good. Like, I played it in daycare. It was fantastic.
This is the first time I've heard of this.
It's really well made. I forgot about it until I looked at this list.
Awesome.
But I think most people would probably say Master Chief, the guy from Fable, and then like Dealer's Choice for third.
So like, I'm not a weirdo who just like really likes Fable. Like, other people agree with that particular opinion.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. That's good to know. Those are good games. Man, well, so if I'm going to like pick who I want to, what characteristics I want to use to like build myself up, I want to be as kingly as the Burger King, have as much burgers as the Burger King,
and
maybe be as sneaky as the Burger King.
Yeah. He also had a racing tie-in game that was pretty good.
What? I want spin-off games. These are all. I just want to be Burger King in 2025. I think, yeah. The only thing I want to emulate, I don't want to objectify women the way that Blinks does.
No.
Yeah, but I do want to control time, and I'll emulate that thing from Fable again of like really trying to think about what it means to be a hero, like actively putting thought behind my decisions, I guess. Yeah, I think that's good.
Yeah. I am gonna emulate, as to the best of my ability, being 7'2" and 480 pounds.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's it. That's
Like
the
Master
only
Chief.
things you want for 2025.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Next time you see me, I'm gonna be wearing a shirt size that shouldn't exist.
I just want you to know that my heart might stop. Like, I might just be that terrified if you just became a giant before I saw you again.
Yeah, next time we see each other, I'm a foot taller than you.
Yeah. I just don't think my brain could process it.
That would be really funny, though.
It would.
Anyway, yeah, no, I want to be as dutiful as Ryu. Show that dedication to my duty. This episode is sponsored by
Duty.
Charmin. But yeah, I don't want to judge an entire people based on the actions of, well, to be fair, in Master Chief's case, they were destroying Earth as a people.
That's bad. I mean, so are humans, you know?
It's true. In 2025, I'm going to destroy all humans, which is the real #1 Xbox icon of all time. Those games are really, really fun. Destroy All Humans, I think they rebooted last year. Check it out.
Yeah, I thought it was a phone app. I didn't know that was like a real game.
It's a real game.
Huh. Who knew?
Me. So, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Wrap up noise. Josh, do you have a recommendation for the people?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Kingdom Hearts is on. Kingdom Hearts is now available in all systems. I don't recommend playing the one on Switch because it's a cloud version and that kind of sucks. Any other one version though, you should play.
If specifically you have like fiber internet and an Ethernet port on your Switch, then the cloud version still doesn't really work that good.
That was really disappointing build up. Yeah.
Okay. It does work a lot better if you have a really phenomenal internet connection, but
I don't.
It's still not that good. Yeah. Me, I'm going to recommend put aside whatever book you're reading. Your new role is to become a follower of Brandon Sanderson. You're going to decide right now that you love high fantasy. And you're going to sit down and you're going to do whatever it takes to read the Stormlight Archive. And if you're already a Samsonite, I don't remember what they call themselves, you should read the Cosmere, look up a reading order, check it out. It's only like 40 books. It's nothing serious.
Yeah.
But seriously, I cannot recommend enough everyone reads The Way of Kings.
Yeah.
Phenomenal book. It's one of the best modern fantasy books, certainly of our generation. And if you want something that'll be given for a good long time, Brandon Sanderson plans on finishing the series in, I think, 2050. So, no rush.
Yeah.
Unless you're listening, Brandon. I am rushing you. I want you to finish book 10 before 2050. If you're on a laptop, please consider rating and reviewing the show on Podchaser or Good Pods. Again, it helps. Gets us out there, gets us recognized, and then we can make more money and we can do stupider stuff. Thank you again to Austin Nance. Couldn't do it without you. And remember to cash at me $3 specifically if you want me to say your name on the show. Gaming Icon series link is in the show notes. And remember, we're all a chosen people, a geekdom of priests.